Hello and welcome back to Snacks and Stacks. I am recording a ton of videos today, so if you see me in the same outfit for like 3 videos, it's fine. This is what I have to do right now. January is a super busy month for me, so trying to get a lot of stuff done in the beginning before everybody and all the social stuff happens near the end. So forgive me for my lack of outfit change, but welcome. So today is going to be my 2025 year wrap-up stats video. It's pretty nerdy. It's gonna have a bunch of numbers. I did not do very good recording what I watched on screens and stuff, so unfortunately this is just books and manga. Hopefully next year I'll be better at tracking my screen time, and then I will be appalled, I'm sure. So in 2025, I read 125 books that were novels or novellas, 43 mangas, and that totaled to 168 books, we'll say. That turned out to be about 30,470 pages and over 840 hours of audiobook listening. All of these stats I got from Storygraph. I love Storygraph. It just hits my little like nerdy statistical brain, and I love it. I spent so much time yesterday just like typing everything out and looking at all my stats. So yes, I absolutely love it. My top genres were fantasy, where I read 80 books with fantasy in it, romance with 49, manga was 43, as I said before, and I'm going to throw in contemporary at 41 since we already talked about manga. I read 45% with audiobooks, which I'm very surprised. Usually my audiobook is like much higher than my physical books, which I read 55%, and that breaks down to 46 in print, like a physical book form, and then 9% with an ebook. My rating breakdown. So I'm gonna say books for like novels and novellas, and then manga for manga. So 5 stars, I rated 19 books 5 stars and 28 manga. 4.5 was 13 books and 4 manga. 4 stars were 41 books and 8 manga. 3.5 stars were 28 books and 2 mangas. And 3 stars were 21 books and 1 manga. 2.5 stars would be just 5 books, and 2 stars would be 1. I had 2 unrated books. One was The Boxcar Children, which I am not the target audience, so I'm not going to rate that. And 2 was How to Sell a Haunted House. And I didn't rate it because I just wasn't sure what was happening. And also horror in general is not a genre I read a lot of, so I really did not know how to rate it. I'm very particular about 3 stars and lower. I honestly just kind of feel bad sometimes, so it's a little bit harder for me to rate things a little bit low. Even though usually 3 stars means okay, and that's usually what I go with. Like 3 stars means it was okay. I love reading and I love stories, so it makes sense that so many of them were 4 stars, because I'm very easily being like, I like that. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. The 4.5 stars and the 5 stars is where I'm a little bit stingy. Like I'm like, 5 star needs to like hit me. And what's funny is manga always hits. Manga hits really easily because I am judging it based on the art style and the dialogue, which I love dialogue, and I'm judging it based on like enjoyment level more than anything else. And so that is probably why most of the time manga gets like 5 stars easily. I also read 18 volumes of Full Metal Alchemist, and I thought almost every single one was 5 stars. That also could be a reason why. And then the lower rated mangas are usually if I just feel like the pacing isn't quite there or my interest isn't quite there. If I put a manga down and or one manga takes me about an hour to read. So if I put it down for my own personal reason, not because I had to do something else, it's usually like, well, that was not as interesting. So that's why. Other things that Storygraph did not tell me, but I sat down and wrote it all out, were the series that I completed. If you're new around here, I do this series called the Completed Series Challenge. I noticed I have a lot of fantasy books where I just have like one or two of like the series that it's already completed and I'm behind. And so it's like backlist completed series that I kind of try to read the whole series within like a month or two, like just back to back as much as possible. And so I did 6 of those last year. A couple of them I did reading vlogs for, so I will link the playlist and put it up here. But I actually completed 13 series last year. And so that would be the Full Metal Alchemist series, the Skyland series, the Dragon Spirit duology, the main trilogy for the Folk of the Air. I reread the Hunger Games trilogy and read for the first time the prequel. I did the main 3 of the Arc of the Scythe series, the Cerulean Chronicles, this Poison Heart duology, the Secrets of the Nile, finished that, finished the Winter Night trilogy, finished the Part of Your World trilogy. Vera Wong finished that, and The Cat Who Saved Books and Saved Libraries, or something like that. So those were the 13 series I completed. And then I had 9 series where I'm up to date. So I'm not completed with them because they're either going to have more out soon, or I just know that they are going to be like more. So we have the Spell Shop series, which there's another one coming out next year. The Heat of the Everflame, that's not the series name, Kindred's Curse series, which there is going to be the 4th book, the last book, is coming out sometime. The Ghosted series, which is this Borison romance series, and her other series as well, the Heartstring series. The Stonewater Kingdom series, Legends and Lattes, I'm sure we'll have more. And Shield of Sparrows, I know there's a 2nd one coming out as well. So that's 9 of those. And then I have 23 series that I need to continue. I'm not going to read them all out. There's a lot of them. They range from manga to middle grade to adult fantasy, romance, cozy mystery. I do have 6 series that I will not be continuing. One I have might not, and it is the Good Folk series. It is a Penny Reid series of romance novels. I just haven't really been in the mood to read them lately. I will not be continuing with Guardians of the Dawn unless I get really bored. I actually have decided to unhaul my copy of Zara. It just, the more I sit with it, the more I'm like, this is just too young for me. Ink World, I will not be continuing. I just didn't really connect with anything in that book. Tita Rosie's Kitchen Mysteries, I will not be continuing. I think they're fine. I only read the first one and I thought it was fine, but there's so many cozy mysteries out there. I think they're ones that I relate to more, find funnier. The Charity Shop Detective Agency mysteries, same deal. So many cozy mysteries out there. Didn't really feel like I liked that one very much. And then, like I said, the Boxcar Children, I just wanted to reread them for like my own like childhood. And then I realized they're really young. I cannot. And then this year, I also completed 2 challenges. One was a self-imposed December reading challenge where I finished a book a day. I will put the playlist to that here as well. And then I also completed the 52 book challenge, which was a lot of fun. It helped me like find different books to read and try different things. I have a whole video on that. I will put that up there as well. So yeah, that is my 2025. So let's talk about 2026. For 2026, I actually am hoping to read less books. I have a very compulsive personality. This is why I choose my hobbies wisely, because I'm like I'm a binger, you know, which is why I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to write down my screen time. But I've noticed that since 2023, I've read over 100 books, and each year it's been incrementally more. So it's like 101, and then 140, and then it's 168 this year. So I think I'm just becoming way too obsessed. I'm like, it takes the fun out of things sometimes. So I want to read less. I want to aim closest to 100. I want to read more critically, more diversely, and just like not consume just to like have it on as background noise. At one point this year, I was like, man, I miss music. I just miss listening to music. So, and I felt like I had to listen to these books because I had to like read them, and I had to like read through my physical TBR, and there was just a lot of pressure. And I do have a lot on my physical TBR. I have over 100 books on my physical TBR, but I just can't deal with this pressure to read them all and then to create content about it. I know I don't have to. It is fun to create content about it, especially when people talk to me about the books. But there are also some books when I'm not choosing them as wisely. There's just books that like I read and then it disappears. So hopefully I'll have less of those and more of others. And so that's my goal. To help me read more critically and diversely, I am joining This Story Ain't Over's anti-brain rot challenge. I'm doing the beginner mode because I don't know what the year will be like. And in the beginner mode, I basically have to at least read 15 minutes of annotated reading every day, one article or essay a month. For every white author, I should read a BIPOC author, a minimum of 7 out of 24 prompts to fulfill. I'm hoping to fulfill all 24 actually, but at least 7. These have different genres, formats, and diversities, and I was looking at the different diversities that I read in 2025, and it was pretty obvious that if I want to read more diverse, the characters and authors I need to be picking up will be Hispanic and Latinx, Indigenous, and Arabic. And the last kind of thing with this challenge is to maintain a critical media journal. Now, I do have a Notion database that I log all my books in. I need to create something for my TV stuff, which I've been having trouble logging that in because it's such a chill activity that I'm not sure how that will work. So I will have my Notion journals where I write down my notes, my critiques, my videos, stuff like that. And then I'm also gonna have my physical journal, which you'll see in my shorts that I started doing the weekend wind down, where I'm kind of trying to track my reading there. And I might actually just write down movies. But so far, I think I'm tracking my books, manga, and anime. And then to help with some of the genres that I don't normally read. So last year I read 4 nonfictions and 4 classics. I'm hoping that this year I will read 5 of each. I'm still picking out the books, so I haven't done the video yet, but I will be putting up a video that's something like 10 books outside my norm. And between the months of February and November, I will be starting one of these books every month and giving myself a whole month to finish them. This just gives me time to really sit with it. Nonfiction especially can be very hard for me to read, especially some of the ones I am deciding to pick up and the ones I have on my shelf. So I just want to have time in between them. So I'll be alternating between nonfiction and classic. And I think I have them all picked out, but I'll do another video on those. And then I also have 26 for 2026, which is the 26 books on my physical TBR that I want to take priority. I have a small mini goal to try to finish those by June or July, and then that way I can pick more. But If I don't, I don't. And so that's 36 books for sure. And that leaves so many books still. So yeah. My last little goal is my son got me this reading roulette card deck, and I want to pick from there once a quarter. I'm either going to do it just like a random 3-day weekend that I get in that quarter, or on the solstice. I'm not sure, but I want to do that. I think that'll be fun. And that makes it 40 books. That has like a purpose. And so then I'll have about 60 books that I can just kind of mood read. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And again, thank you so much for subscribing, commenting, liking, and happy reading, happy tracking, happy snacking. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.